the studio. I hope you guys are all doing well. I've got some new products, but I also have this painting that I've created. Okay, I posted this in my group. Everybody fell in love with it and they loved the colors. So I thought, you know what? I'm gonna do a tutorial with the same kind of concept and idea. Might be a little bit different because you know what? Things just are, it's hard for me to duplicate a really loose painting to be exactly, like the next one, but I can kind of come close. So these were the two paintings that I posted and I thought, let's have fun. So we're going to do that. But I wanted to show you a couple things that I got that are new to the studio, and I'll be using these products. And I just wanted to show you so you guys could also jump on Amazon maybe and buy them yourself. And if you do, if you would use the links that I provide for these suggestions, I would greatly appreciate it. That helps me make a small commission. It helps support my channel. So let's get to what I want to show you. First of all, I bought these, maybe you've seen them before, but I bought these Painter's Coloring Diary. They have them for, oil, or this one's for watercolor. So, and it comes with this sheet. It kind of shows you how to lay it all out. It has like these little boxes and then little lines where you can write stuff. And the little black line that's shown on here within each box, that helps you gauge the transparency of your medium that you might be putting on the page. So in this case, today, I'm going to be using, of course, my watercolor, but today we're also going to be using 1 tube of the gouache. I'm not going to get into a whole big gouache here, but I am going to be bringing a little bit more gouache into play here on the channel because I want you guys to see how you can kind of incorporate this more opaque water medium. So it's beautiful to use with your watercolors. So I did break down and buy a new thing of gouache. So I'm going to show that to you, okay? But let's just look at this first. So I did buy this. So it comes with this little sheet that's like this. That's how it comes. And it shows you how to lay everything out. And then it's got the front cover. So if you didn't want this, you could tear it off. But I actually like it because I love my studio filled with color. So when my home is very conservative with oil paintings and just really, really conservative, but as soon as you come into my studio, it's just like this different world. So there's two sides to me. there's the wild, bright colors of my studio, and then there's the little bit more conservative side to me. Okay, so I have this and I absolutely love this. And let me show you what it looks like. Well, this is what it looks like when you get it, okay? It also comes with this like vellum-like paper. They call it something else, glassine. Or as a designer, I know it as vellum. But it just kind of protects, like if you had some golden acrylics here or oils, you wouldn't want that to stick to the back of your sheet of paper. You have that as your protective element between it, or if there's pastels, you would not want that powder rubbing all over the back of this. You know what I mean? So it's nice to have that. You don't necessarily, with watercolors, probably need this. You could always rip it out and use it as tracing paper. Or you could even paint on it and make a really cool paper with it. So don't throw it away because there's actually things you can do with this. Like I said, you can paint on top of it. But here's the new product. I went out and I bought myself. Now, I was not given this from the company, so there's no sponsorship or anything like this. This is purely my wants and needs, and I paid for it myself. But I did go out and buy myself, well, I didn't go out, I went to Amazon. I bought myself some gouache, and this is the Magello Mission Gold gouache. Now, what I'm finding out is their gouache, apparently it's more pliable. It doesn't crack or flake like some may, okay? And that appealed to me. So I'm like, right there, it was like, okay, that's good, because I don't want anything getting chalky or flaky or cracking or anything like that. So I invested and got myself some Magello. So this is what it looks like. You get like a little diagram here with all the colors on there. Get a little brochure. And they always throw this on the top. It's like a, I don't know, it's their packing material. And then I've got one out because we're going to be using it. And then you have all these beautiful, beautiful, beautiful colors. Okay, here's what I love about this. I just found this out and I really like it. Let me just show it to you. They figured something out that is fantastic and I love them for it. They made their caps a lot bigger than normal, okay? I could pull out several different, well, they did. Okay, so I'm just gonna show a comparison here, okay? Let's just get a few of them out. Okay, so Magello, they get thumbs up from me. Well, let's do it double thumbs. They get thumbs up, okay? Because they made these lids big enough. They're not small and dinky. Sometimes, even for guys with big hands, these bigger lids or these caps are really easy to deal with. And for me with my tremors, this is ideal. I need this, okay? So I love that they have these bigger tops, okay? Now let me just show you a Daniel Smith top. Okay, you can see the difference. It's a lot bigger. And the opening, when you take these off, the actual opening is also bigger, okay? So all of that's good. So let me just show you now. There's M. Graham, again, a lot bigger. And there's American Journey, again, a lot bigger. I don't know if I have another company here in front of me. I don't, but I'm just saying that they really did a really good job here. So their packaging is ideal. Okay, so I'm gonna put this back because we're gonna be using that. So you get all these fantastic colors, and that's what you see here. They're nice and vibrant. And let me just show you, I did break out the bank and buy myself a new palette for gouache specifically, because I've been putting it on my watercolor pan, you know, my tray that I have for my watercolor. This is another Magello palette. I highly recommend their palettes. They're bulletproof palettes. They don't bead up and do weird things. They're fantastic. This is the big one. Again, you can find this in my Amazon shop in the About section on my channel page. So fantastic. Love their palettes. But this is a smaller one, okay? This is like a 35, and I got 34, so I have one extra well. But their paints, let me just show you. The problem with some of the paints when it comes to gouache is sometimes they don't, when they dry, they don't reconstitute, or they dry with big cracks in them and stuff like that. Well, these are not that way. Let me just grab this one. Look at this. It's creamy already. It's nice and creamy. It does not dry out. You can put them in your wells and know that you can go back in and reactivate it. So, and they're nice and they're sticky, okay? So they're not dry and cakey. So that is wonderful. Highly, highly pigmented. Again, get yourself some new Magello. Well, they've been out for a little while, but get yourself some Magello. Why not? Get yourself some Magello gouache. Okay, so I'm gonna put all this to the side. And I'm not gonna need any of these colors that I know of right now, but I'm going to be using them more. This is how I used to do my charts. Just get a sheet of paper and put it all down. But anyway, get past all that. Let's put these away. Okay, so I've got some Hanamulla. I hope I'm saying that right. I've used the Harmony, I think it was Harmony, Hanamulla Harmony, and I thought, oh, that's pretty good. But this is their 100% cotton rag. This is only a 9 by 12 because I'm just going to do a little bit smaller painting. That's the size that I originally started with, a little bit smaller one from Hanamulla. And I'm going to do the same kind of paper. And so those were the two. These are what are going to be inspiring what we're doing here. Again, it's going to be a little bit different. And so those I'm going to put over there. And I'm just going to get a piece of Hanamulla, again, 9 by 12, which is very, very small for me. You know, I have this little bit smaller than I'm used to working on, but that's okay. I can do it. I think I can do it. Okay, I'll put that over there. I have some of my brushes here handy for what I'm gonna need. I'm just gonna get a number 8 silver black velvet here, and I'm going to go in here. Now, I do have some of these paints down already from the previous painting, but I'm gonna go ahead and freshen it up. I'm just gonna put a little bit of this cerulean blue. This is the gouache. Now, this gouache actually can be watered down, and it's very much like watercolor. So if you don't have the gouache, go ahead and use your watercolor. But moving forward on the channel, there'll be times where I'm really gonna push that I want things to be opaque, and I'll be using my gouache more. Okay, this is a watercolor by Mission Gold. This is their Shadow Green. Really a nice color to have. It gives you a lot of depth and shadow. And so I'm just gonna throw some Shadow Green down. And I am missing one of my, I need Green Appetite Genuine by Daniel Smith. I like Green Appetite Genuine. It's a good color. Okay, so I have those, and then I'm going to be bringing out my Dr. P.H. Martin's Bleed Proof White, so that will be coming into play. If you do not have this correction material, because it's not sold everywhere outside of the United States, that you can find, you could just use a white gouache. So put that to the side. All of this I'm going to put over here. I have my waters here, and let's get busy. So now let's just take a look at what we have here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to build up this side here, and I'm going to make a container, and then we're going to do these very loose, like white flowers that look like kind of bells. Maybe you could, I'm not sure what some of those would be called, but it's just more impressionistic. I'm not trying to make it look like any specific flower, which is what I do a lot. I keep things very, not semi-abstract, more impressionistic in my approach. So let's get busy here. So I'm just gonna start grabbing some Green Appetite Genuine, and I'm gonna kind of get this down. I'm just gonna bring in some, let this dance around on my page a little bit. I'm just building things up. This is, okay, now I also have to have my just table salt. Okay, so I have some table salt here because when it's ready to put that table salt down, you got to do it sooner than later. Now I've got some of that Shadow Green, and I'm building this up on this, making this a little bit dark here. And I'm going to go ahead and grab some of this gouache, again, very dark. Lighten some of that up. Okay, now I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna get that salt down before it's too late. So there's where the salt is. Hopefully it's there's enough moisture on the paper for something to happen. Salt's unpredictable. I can see it's already, something's happening up here in the corner. So sometimes it's unpredictable. We're not quite sure how it's gonna, sometimes it works for us and sometimes it doesn't. So now I'm just gonna work on just putting a little bit of a curve here. So I'm gonna build a container. I work very quickly. That allows me to stay very loose because I don't want things looking, when you're doing a loose painting, you don't want too much tight work. It just doesn't quite feel right. It doesn't look right, doesn't feel right. It's like something's not quite right. Okay, so now I'm gonna grab a liner brush. This is about 1.5 inches long. My hand's all full of pigment. Let me just dip them in the water and wipe them off. That's why I have these dirty shirts, just old white shirts that I put on and protect myself from getting completely covered in pigment. Okay, so now I have Dr. Peach Martin Bleed Proof White, and if you don't have it, use your really thick white gouache. And I'm just gonna go in there, and I'm using this because I want things to stay really loose, okay? Okay, I'm just putting just a little bit of white into this also, just kind of having fun with, you don't have to do what I do with everything. I definitely have an aesthetic where I love running my brush through and making lines. I don't know. It's just it's some kind. I can have a perfectly painted piece, and you'll see me do that. And I know it freaks a lot of people out, but I just like doing it. So you're kind of seeing that happening here right now. And like I said, this is just one of my aesthetics. You do you. You be your own artist and do your own thing. Maybe you like to do little swirlies or something. Who knows? So now I have what I have here, and I think what I want to do is just put just a little bit of soft blue back here. I just want it to feel, so I have a little bit of the blue, just a little bit. I'm thinning it out, maybe just a little bit of the green. And I'm just going to throw just a little bit of that down. Because when I built the little white flowers, I do want a background, and I want the pigment, when it goes down, it also will kind of grab some of that pigment that I'm putting down. Because a lot of this is going to be covered up with white here in just a minute. So now what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna make a harmony color. I'm gonna use my gouache, okay? And I'm gonna use my Green Apatite Genuine and maybe just a little bit of that dark shadow green. And it's making kind of almost like a teal kind of color. And I'm gonna put that right here and kind of bring a little bit of it into the jar. This is like a glass jar. I'm thinking like a mason jar. I think I went a little crazy here, but we'll see what happens. We'll see. Just gonna loosen it up, okay? And I'm gonna go in, no, I'm not gonna use that. I'm gonna use my twig. I'm gonna use my twig, my rose twig. This is just a dried rose twig that I put acrylic paint all over because my name's Deborah. And I just like fun, blinged out things with color. I like my studio to be very vibrant. So this is just me just playing around, loosening some of this up here. Okay. Now is the time to put those flower heads down. I'm gonna see if I can find, I haven't used it for a while. I'll have to find a brush that I'm looking for. That's not it, that's an acrylic brush. That's a long round. I'm gonna use, this is a, oh, it's all worn off. Of course it's worn off. Manifesto, I think it is. I'm not sure who it's by. It's in Germany. It's from Germany. Okay. Let's see. I'm just gonna get some. Just putting some of this white down. And now I'm going to go in with just a really fine tip. This is size 16 Sable Winsor Newton. I'm just going to go in and grab just a little bit of Green Apatite Genuine. And I'm just going to hit some of these bottom edges, like there's like some little green things maybe poking out from the flower. And I can go back in and back some of that out if it goes too crazy. But I really would like to see some unique things happening. Okay, so there they're doing the pigment with the Dr. Peach Martin's doing some really cool things here. It's granulating. And anything that I don't like, now's the time to go in and back it off, or if there's an area that needs a little something fun. Now's the time to go in. Okay. Everything's extremely loose. Extremely, it's not like I'm trying to define anything and turn it into anything specific. I want the viewer to try to come up with their concept of what they think it might be that they're looking at. I'm not going to be putting in too much information. I let the viewer do that on their own. Oh wait, I want to pick up some green first. And I just want to add just a little bit of information here. Just connecting a couple of these. Okay, so there's one. Let's try it again, okay? If it needs more after it dries a little bit, we'll see. Let's do it one more time for the folks in the back. Okay, seriously? Here it is. It's right in front of me. I'm looking for my paper and it's right there. I'm flying through this thing. Oops. Okay, one more time. Let's do it again. Okay, let's get some green apatite. Since I already have some of these colors already whipped up, it's going to make it a lot easier. I can kind of just get some of this stuff down. Okay. Building up this side. Getting some of that dark in now. Okay, now I need to get that salt on now. You wait, you lose it. Okay, so this is what the salt situation, how wet the paper kind of looks with the salt. And this looks promising. I think I got it down just in the right amount of time. I think I just want just a little bit more on the tip of that leaf. Yeah. Okay. Now, if there's puddles of water and you put the salt down, you're just going to have salty water. So don't do that. Okay, so the only thing is the drawback here is I've already got the salt down and I haven't made my container yet. So it's like you're dragging all this through that salt. I'm just gonna kind of put a little curve on that container there with a little reflection. Okay. So now I'm going to break this up just a little bit here. I just want to looks very solid. By that I mean it's just pigment. I need to break it up just a little bit with water. Although we do want to retain a lot of the white spaces. Of course, this whole section here is going to be all white. There'll be flowers here, but a lot of this section here will be white. But these little areas here, we don't want to close all that in. We want to retain, somebody started their motorcycle, sorry. We want to retain all these white spaces. We can't close that in. We want to keep all of that open so it kind of has like breathing room. Okay, now I'm going to grab my liner. Again, sorry about the motorcycle. I'm going to grab this long 1.5 inch liner. It's very floppy, okay? Very floppy. Keeps me really loose. I'm going to go in. I'm just going to go in and just kind of loosely put in some green here. I love that that water just dispersed. That gives me an idea. I'm gonna just put just a little bit like down like this. So when I throw that down, it kind of gives that whoosh. I like that effect. See how it just did the whoosh? Okay, so that's where we are right now. Now let's get some blue in the background, because when I build my flowers, I just need to have a little bit of blue. So I'm looking for a little something atmospheric. Okay, let's get the liner brush. I just want to do, I like to do my little spider webs. Okay. Now, I'm just going to put just a little bit of green here. I just want some foliage. As you can see, I'm not like painting leaves, okay? I'm just dancing my brush around. Okay, so now that I have that, clean my brush. Oh, I do want to drop just a little bit more. I'm going to take the, what do I want to say? What is it called? Shadow green and the cerulean. And again, I'm just gonna, a little bit of the green. I'm just gonna make a color here that's very teal. I'm just gonna push just a little bit of teal here. Okay. White, clean your brush well. Use gouache if you don't have the Dr. P.H. Martin. And I'm just going to go in and start dropping some of these. And I'm just going to kind of make it seem like there's some over here dancing around, some in the background. Okay, so that's what we have right now. Now I'm just going to go in and I want to add like little, something like maybe some little green things or like if these are dangling down, maybe there's something sticking out of the base. So I'm just gonna go in and I'm just gonna hit the very tip of these with some green. Probably should have used a smaller brush. It's okay, keep going, keep going. Don't want to stop, okay. Okay, so now I just need to go in and I just need to connect. I need to connect these if they look like they need to be connected somehow. And if it gets busy, you can go in with your brush and kind of back it off because I'm seeing some areas that don't look so good. And just play with them until you get them like just the way you want them. And there's a quick painting on that one. Okay, well, here are our two paintings from today. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Look at this beautiful teal that we created. Not right there, right? Those leaves that are going down. That's so, so beautiful. I'm going to whip up some, right there, that teal. I'm going to whip up some of that color and put that in that one well spot. I bought a palette of 35. I only had 34 colors, so now I know what to put in that well. And I'm going to whip up some of that color so I always have it on hand. Again, you guys, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell for notifications, and if you'd like to support my channel, if you click on my Amazon shop, that's in the About Me on the channel page. If you go to that, you'll find all the links. You'll find all the products that I like to use, and you'll find a lot of the products I used today in that, along with the brushes. And what else do I want to tell you? Oh, I also have a thanks button. If you would like to use the thanks button and help me support my channel, I would greatly appreciate it. And that also helps me to keep pushing more videos out here in a YouTube land for you guys. I hope you all enjoyed this. You guys, everybody, stay safe out there in this crazy world. Stay well, don't get sick, and may God bless each and every one of you mightily with your art. Bye for now.